In this nugget, we will look at an introduction to endothermic reactions. So what does endothermic mean? Let's break down the word into its parts. Endo means inside, and thermic means of heat. So in chemistry, an endothermic reaction is one that transfers energy from the surroundings, so the temperature of the surroundings decreases. Now remember, the law of conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is just moved from one store of energy to another. The total energy in a system remains constant. Chemical energy is the energy stored in chemical bonds. We can increase the store of chemical energy by making bonds, and decrease the store of chemical energy by breaking bonds. Different chemicals store different amounts of energy. So here we have the reactants and the products from a chemical reaction. In this situation, the reactants store less chemical energy than the products. Energy cannot be made, so it has to be transferred from the surroundings. How much is transferred from the surroundings to the products is exactly the difference between the chemical energy stores of the reactants and the products. The transfer of thermal energy from the surroundings leads to a decrease in the temperature of the surroundings. Here, we can see the temperature of the solution decreases as the reaction occurs. Remember, thermal energy is the energy stored in hot objects and is measured in joules, whereas temperature is a measure of how hot or cold an object is. It is a measure of the average thermal energy stored by the molecules and is measured in degrees Celsius. Heat is a measure of the total kinetic and vibrational energy stored in the molecules of an object. Whereas temperature is a measure of how hot or cold the object is. It is a measure of the average thermal energy stored by the molecules. In summary, energy is conserved in chemical reactions. The amount of energy in the universe after a chemical reaction is the same as before the reaction takes place. If a reaction transfers energy from the surroundings, the product molecules store more energy than the reactants by the amount transferred. An endothermic reaction is one that takes in thermal energy from the surroundings, so the temperature of the surroundings decreases. Keywords: endothermic reaction, a chemical reaction that transfers thermal energy from the surroundings, so the temperature of the surroundings decreases. Chemical energy, energy stored in chemical bonds. Thermal energy, energy stored in hot objects and is measured in joules. Temperature, how hot or cold an object is. It is a measure of the average thermal energy stored by the molecules and is measured in degrees Celsius.